My name's Nicole. I'm 45 years old. I have 3 kids, husband, dog, all that stuff. Born and raised in Toronto. Yeah. I got alopecia when I was 3 years old. Just give a little backstory, just got a perm. My mom gave me a perm. Took me to back then a little salon, and I got a perm in my hair. We had the fire in my house. My older brother was playing with fireworks. His mattress caught on fire, house fire. 3 months down the line, I ended up losing all my hair. Everything from my eyebrows, my eyelashes, my whole head, all my body hair. Not that I had much back then, but lost everything. Being a kid, I blamed it on the hairdresser. So I'd walk by the hairdresser's place and give them it was their fault that I lost my hair. But it wasn't. Ended up getting diagnosed with alopecia. I spent a lot of time at Sick Kids Hospital in downtown Toronto, where it was very unknown back then, talking 42 years ago. So they did a lot of testing on me. They tried a lot of medicines. I was test case for Rogaine, Metadoxal, and I used to faint at school every day because the Metadoxal will lower my blood pressure. So the poor ladies who I worked in the office see me a lot because I'd literally pass out from the medicine because it would lower my blood pressure. And then as I got older, things you don't think of that you deal with that normal people don't. There's when you don't have any eyelashes, just sitting there in the air, those are all particles and dust in the air. And when you don't have those eyelashes there to protect your eyes, all that dust and particles in the air all go directly into your eyes. So just sitting here, I would be like this because everything would just get into your eyes because those eyelashes provide a filter that actually protects your eyes from stuff that's in the air, which is really neat. When I was about 8 or 9, we tried cortisone injections. And I would get cortisone injections actually into the scalp of my head. And they were very painful, and you would get a lot directly into your head. But it worked for a while where I was able to keep hair growth as long as I kept getting the injections every 3 to 6 months. A lot of pain, but it was worth the gain to get the hair. And then unfortunately, after a while, that would stop working, and then I just kind of gave up on everything and just said that nature take its course. It fell out. I wore wigs, stuff like that, and then a couple of years ago, they came out with a new trial drug that I tried, and I tried it. I was 2 years, first year on placebo, second year actually on the drug. It's worked, but not enough where I was comfortable to continuing the drug. But it seems to be having really good success with other people, so I'm happy for that. Alopecia, nobody really knew what it was. The only place you could buy wigs, it was a tiny little part of Eaton's, but they were made for grandmas. So they were literally these rough, scratchy, synthetic carpets, I would call them, because you put them on and they were itch and you'd sweat underneath them and they were so uncomfortable, and they were not pretty. I look back at the pictures and go, oh my God, what was I thinking? I went back there, I remember years later, I had saved up my first paycheck and I went back there and I bought a hair extension, like a fall. And even still then, it was like definitely nothing near the quality that they are today. But it was funny to go back and see all these old lady wigs that you see in an 80-year-old grandmother. But that's the only options we had back then. With some wigs, if you get a full lace medical wig and you turn, it kind of shifts with your head, where this feels like it's actually like holding my head. Well, it's not gonna move, stay still when my head moves, One of the reasons why I like the wigs is I work in a school, so I deal with young children all day long, and it can confuse them, it can scare them sometimes when they see you without one. But also too, it's also come to where when I've come across other children that have it, I will take them aside and I will take my wig off and show them that I've lost my hair and stuff. And I've come across a few students of mine that have lost their hair, and it kind of gives them comfort to know, that they're not the only ones. and that they can be comfortable both ways. Even walking around, wearing wigs, somebody will come up to me and go, "Oh my God, I love your hair. Who does your hair?" And I'm like, it's not mine. Like, I'm very forward, and I always say, no, I have a wig, it's, because I will change my hair color, and it's so much fun that I can be blonde one day, be a brunette the next, or a redhead. And I'm comfortable with that, where I can say, no, it's not my hair. I don't have any hair, but, that's okay. I get to have fun. Hair is a huge part of somebody's character, of how they look, You look at a guy who has, no facial, but then you put facial hair on him, it's huge for somebody's character. But beauty's within, this is all surface. It's hard to say that too, because, with today's society, when you look at things when it comes to, say, insurance and benefits and stuff, they consider me getting a wig as cosmetic, because it's, it's on the outside. I don't really have to have a wig. It's cosmetic, they consider. But I think wigs are important. I think what makes you feel good is your choice, whether you want to go bald or if you want to wear a wig. That's your choice, and what makes you feel and what you're comfortable with. So one of the great things I loved is that I came here last week. I was greeted when I came in. I was able to look at tons of different types of wigs, see what kind I liked, what ones felt comfortable. And then I got to go, oh, look at all the colors I can get it in. And then, pick what color suited me best. And then here I am a week later, and I got to come in, see my new wig. They got to style it to how I liked it, and it was great. It was great service. It was very comfortable experience. It was awesome. You're dealing with a wig, it's something you wear every day. And my personal thing is I like to have a couple where I can trade off between wigs, so you're not wearing and tearing them constantly all the time. So to be able to go, okay, I bought this one, but I want a backup, so that way I can trade off. So, maybe one could be for work and one could be for when I go out on Saturday night. And that way they're not getting worn down faster. You want to also keep the longevity of the wig. So, to be able to come in and purchase 2 of them would be great, so that way you can have that. And if they're affordable, that makes it so much more easier.